The storm hammered the empty highway as CEO Adrian Cole drove alone, his world as cold and silent as the rain outside. He had built an empire, yet he couldn't fill the emptiness left by a family he never had. But that night, everything changed. A small figure suddenly appeared in his headlights. Adrian slammed the brakes. A little girl, soaked to the bone, stood trembling, clutching a torn backpack. "Please help," she whispered. "My mom, she's not waking up. Please don't let her die." Something in her voice cracked open a place in Adrian he thought was long dead. She pulled him into the woods toward a broken-down car. Inside, a young woman lay slumped over the wheel, barely breathing. Panic shot through Adrian, not the kind he felt in boardrooms, but something deeper, human. Without hesitation, he scooped the unconscious mother into his arms. "Hold my hand," he told the little girl as he carried the woman to his car. "I won't let anything happen to her." At the hospital, doctors rushed the woman away. The girl, Lily, clung to Adrian's coat, crying into the fabric. For the first time in years, Adrian didn't push someone away. He held her close. Hours later, a doctor approached with a heavy sigh, then smiled. "She's alive, because of you." Adrian exhaled shakily. Lily wrapped her arms around him. And for the first time in his life, the lonely CEO felt something he had never expected. He felt needed. The next morning, sunlight filtered through the hospital windows as Adrian sat by Lily, who had finally fallen asleep with her tiny hand gripping his sleeve. He hadn't slept all night either, but strangely, he didn't feel tired. For the first time in years he felt present. When Lily stirred awake, she looked up at him anxiously. "Is my mom okay?" Adrian smiled gently. "She's stable. They're giving her medicine. You were very brave." She exhaled shakily, eyes glistening. "People never stop for us. Mom says we're invisible." Invisible. The word stabbed him. Adrian remembered his own lonely childhood. Parents always gone, emotions treated like inconveniences. He had vowed never to feel that helpless again. But this girl's fear made him realize how much he had missed by building walls. A nurse entered. "The mother is asking for her daughter, and whoever saved her." Adrian carried Lily down the hallway. When they entered the room, the young woman lay pale but awake. Her eyes widened when she saw Adrian. You saved my life," she whispered. "I just did what anyone should do," he said softly. But the truth was, not everyone would have stopped. Even he wasn't sure why he did. "My name is Emily," the woman said weakly. "We've been living out of our car. I didn't want Lily to see how bad things were." Adrian felt a lump in his throat. "You're safe now. Both of you." For a moment, Emily studied him, the expensive suit, the weary eyes, the unexpected kindness. "Why would a man like you help strangers?" Adrian hesitated. "Because last night, someone reminded me what really matters." Lily squeezed his hand again, as if sealing an unspoken promise. And just like that, Adrian realized he wasn't going anywhere. Not yet. Emily's condition improved over the next 2 days, but Adrian noticed something troubling. Every time a bill arrived, medication, tests, food, she flinched. Lily noticed it too. One afternoon, Emily whispered, "I can't afford this. We barely had money for gas. I don't even know how we'll survive once they discharge me." Adrian leaned forward. "Let me help." Emily immediately shook her head. "No. You've done enough. This is our mess, not yours." But Lily tugged her mother's sleeve. "Mom, Mr. Adrian is nice." Emily's eyes softened, but she still looked afraid of accepting help, afraid of owing someone powerful something she could never repay. Later that evening, Adrian stepped outside with Lily while Emily rested. The little girl pointed at the vending machine. "I like the teddy bear cookies," she said shyly. Adrian bought her 2 packets. She grinned, opening one and handing him the other. "For you. 'Cause you look like you forgot how to smile." He chuckled, a sound that felt unfamiliar. "Maybe I did." Her smile faded suddenly. Mom works so hard. She says when she gets better, we'll find a home again. But I'm scared. Her voice broke. I don't want us to live in the car anymore. Adrian knelt beside her. Lily, I don't know what your future looks like yet, but I promise you won't face it alone. Not anymore. When they returned to the room, Emily was awake, watching them with surprised eyes, like she couldn't understand how her daughter had formed such trust. Why are you being so kind to us? Emily whispered. Adrian paused. Because I know what it feels like to have everything, except someone who cares. Emily's expression softened, and something shifted quietly between them, a fragile, trembling hope neither dared name yet. On the fourth day, the doctor returned with unexpected news. Emily, you're recovering well. But you'll need at least 3 weeks of rest. No work, no stress. Emily looked terrified. But we don't have anywhere to go. You do now. Adrian interrupted gently. She froze. Adrian, I can't stay in your world. I don't belong there. He shook his head. It's not about my world. It's about safety. You and Lily need a home. Stay at my guest house. It's private, fully furnished, and close to the hospital. Emily hesitated, overwhelmed. But Lily slipped her small hand into her mother's. Please, Mom? Just for a little bit. Emily finally nodded. When they arrived at Adrian's estate that evening, Emily stood speechless. The mansion glowed softly in the dusk, surrounded by tall trees and warm lights. The guest house was more beautiful than any home they had ever lived in. Inside, Adrian watched Lily spin around the living room, her laughter filling spaces that had been empty for years. Emily touched the back of a chair, tears shining in her eyes. I don't know how to thank you. You don't need to. But later, when Adrian returned to the main house, he felt a strange ache. For years, he had lived with silence, expensive silence. But now, hearing faint laughter from the guest house made the entire estate feel alive. That night, as he sat alone in his enormous dining room, he realized something profound. He didn't just save them. They were saving him too. Days turned into a week. Emily regained her strength, and Lily filled the estate with drawings, little questions, and endless curiosity. Adrian found himself coming home early just to hear her excited voice. Mr. Adrian! Guess what I made today? One evening, Emily invited him to the guest house for dinner, a simple meal Lily helped cook. We wanted to thank you, Emily said, placing a plate before him. Adrian looked around the small, warm room. It felt more like a home than his mansion ever had. Halfway through dinner, Lily looked up. Can we stay with you forever? Emily gasped. Lily! But Adrian's heart didn't reject the idea. Instead, he asked gently, What makes you say that? Because you make Mom smile. And you make me feel safe. Like a dad. Emily's breath caught. Lily, he doesn't have to. Adrian reached across the table. Emily. Lily. I don't want this to be temporary either. Emily blinked through tears. But we have nothing. You have everything that matters. He swallowed. And I'd like to be part of your lives, if you'll let me. Lily jumped from her chair and hugged him. Emily wiped her eyes, nodding softly. We'd like that, she whispered. For the first time in years, Adrian felt the emptiness inside him finally fill, not with wealth, not with power, but with something he'd longed for without even knowing. A family. The night ended with laughter, soft lights, and a new beginning, proof that sometimes the most unexpected moments bring the greatest blessings. And the loneliest heart can become someone's miracle.